So God, how are you going to fix this with my grandson? Molly and Micah didn't want the baby to be torn apart and evacuated. They wanted a stillbirth to say goodbye. They wanted to hold their son. They only found one hospital in Ventura that would do it during COVID. It was in Santa Paula. And there was a mother-daughter doctor team, so gracious and thoughtful and kind. They prayed with my daughter and my son-in-law. They rejoiced over little Theodore as they held his lifeless body in their arms. The nurses cried as they said goodbye. Great comfort was brought to them by this mother and daughter doctor team whose last name was Levin. It was Dr. Levin's wife and daughter. When I heard the heartache of my sister, Dr. Judy Mikovits, that her husband David was misdiagnosed as having died from COVID, and she knew it to be a farce. And Bobby Kennedy Jr. provided the autopsy of her husband, which conclusively proved he didn't die from COVID. She wanted it amended. Her whole life is committed to this, and David would have wanted that. And we were in a lawsuit with the county, and we had a chance. Not a great chance, but we had a chance. I called Jeff Gorell, that all of you helped get elect, and I said, is there any way I could have a meeting with Dr. Levin? He said, I can't do that. You're in a lawsuit with the county. I said, if I drop the lawsuit, because I can't guarantee you a meeting, but it will at least open a door. And in faith, I dropped the lawsuit, and Dr. Levin accepted the invitation. We sat in a cafe in Camarillo, and I told him the story about his wife and his daughter and my son-in-law and my little grandson. And he was deeply touched. We became friends that day. And I said, Dr. Levin, it's not a quid pro quo. I'm just asking for help on how I would go about caring for a widow, as my ordination commands me to care for the widow and the orphan. I seek to amend a death certificate, and this is the autopsy. David Nolde, who is the husband of Dr. Judy Mikovits, Dr. Judy Nolde. He said, Rob, I can't do that, but let me investigate and see how it can be done. And true to his word, he found the attending physician and amended the death certificate. All things work together for good. But how do you get there? Because we're all a train wreck. You made a mess of your life. If you confess, God is faithful and just to forgive your sins and to cleanse you of all unrighteousness.